The story of the Zodiac Killer, one of the most infamous unsolved serial killer cases in American history, begins in the mid-20th century. To understand the origins of this mysterious figure, we must delve into the life and times of the man, or men, behind the mask, starting with his early life and family background. Early life and family background. The true identity of the Zodiac Killer remains unknown, which complicates the task of providing a detailed account of his early life. However, various theories and investigative insights suggest that the Zodiac might have been born between the late 1930s and early 1940s. This would place his formative years in the context of World War II and the post-war era, a time marked by significant social and economic changes in the United States. Possible origins. Some criminologists and amateur sleuths have speculated that the Zodiac Killer might have had a troubled childhood. This theory is often based on the pattern observed in many serial killers, who frequently experience early trauma or dysfunctional family dynamics. Potential candidates who fit the profile of the Zodiac include individuals who may have been raised in a strict or abusive household. This kind of upbringing can lead to deep-seated psychological issues that manifest in violent behaviors later in life. Educational background. It is hypothesized that the Zodiac had a higher-than-average intelligence. This assumption stems from his cryptic letters and ciphers sent to newspapers, which displayed a sophisticated understanding of codes and a flair for manipulation. If this is accurate, the Zodiac likely attended school and performed well academically, especially in subjects like mathematics and cryptography. He might have been an isolated or introverted student, often preferring solitary activities over social interactions. Military service. Another prevalent theory suggests that the Zodiac might have had a military background. This hypothesis is supported by his use of weapons and tactical prowess, indicating some level of formal training. During the mid-20th century, many young men were drafted or volunteered for military service. If the Zodiac served in the armed forces, it would explain his familiarity with firearms and potentially provide a timeline for his later activities. Socioeconomic context. The Zodiac's early years were shaped by the broader context of American society during the 1940s and 1950s. This period saw the United States emerge from World War II as a global superpower, with significant economic growth and technological advancements. Post-war America. The post-war era was marked by a sense of optimism and prosperity, but it also brought about considerable social upheaval. The shifting dynamics of family life, gender roles, and suburban expansion created new forms of stress and discontent. The Zodiac's potential disillusionment with these societal changes could have contributed to his later actions. Alienation, a common theme in many serial killer profiles, may have played a role in his development. Cultural influences. The rise of mass media in the 1950s and 1960s introduced new cultural phenomena, including television, movies, and comic books. The Zodiac's choice of pseudonym and his taunting letters suggest he was influenced by popular culture, particularly the darker aspects of it. The killer's moniker, Zodiac, might have been inspired by astrological symbols or other mystical elements prevalent in the cultural zeitgeist of the time. Psychological development. Understanding the Zodiac's psychological development is crucial to comprehending his later actions. While we lack definitive information about his personal experiences, we can infer certain traits based on his behavior, psychopathy, and narcissism. The Zodiac exhibited classic signs of psychopathy, including a lack of empathy, manipulative tendencies, and a grandiose sense of self-worth. These traits often develop early in life and are exacerbated by negative experiences and lack of positive reinforcement. His need for attention and recognition, as demonstrated by his frequent communication with the media and police, points to narcissistic tendencies. This desire for notoriety is a common motivator for many serial killers. Sadistic tendencies. The Zodiac's enjoyment of inflicting pain and terror on his victims indicates a sadistic personality. Such tendencies can be traced back to early childhood behaviors where an individual may exhibit cruelty to animals or other children. The killer's methodical approach to his crimes suggests a deep-seated need for control and domination, possibly stemming from feelings of powerlessness in other areas of his life. The transformation from an unknown individual to the Zodiac Killer began in the late 1960s in Northern California, a period marked by social change and turbulence. This chapter explores the initial crimes that brought the Zodiac to public attention, setting the stage for his notoriety and the fear he would instill in the region. The first known murders: Lake Herman Road incident, date and location, on the night of December 20th, 1968, in a secluded area on Lake Herman Road, located on the outskirts of Vallejo, California. Victims: high school students, Betty Lou Jensen, 16, and David Faraday, 17. Details of the crime: the young couple parked in a popular lover's lane when they were ambushed. David was shot in the head at close range while still inside the car. Betty Lou tried to flee but was shot 5 times in the back as she ran. The crime scene indicated a ruthless and calculated attack, with the killer showing no hesitation. Blue Rock Springs attack, date and location, just before midnight on July 4, 1969, at Blue Rock Springs Park near Vallejo. Victims: Darlene Farron, 22, and Michael Mago, 19. Details of the crime: the couple was parked in a car when they were approached by a man with a flashlight. Without warning, the assailant opened fire, shooting both multiple times. Darlene was killed, but Michael survived, providing crucial details about the attack and the assailant's appearance. He described a heavy-set man, around 5'8", with short curly hair and wearing glasses, the first Zodiac letter. Following these initial attacks, the Zodiac began his infamous correspondence with the media and police, further establishing his terrifying presence. July 31, 1969. Letters. Recipients: the San Francisco Chronicle, the San Francisco Examiner, and the Vallejo Times-Herald each received an almost identical letter. Content: in these letters, the writer took credit for the murders at Lake Herman Road and Blue Rock Springs. Each letter contained 1/3 of a 408-symbol cryptogram, which he demanded be published on the front page of the newspapers. He threatened further violence if his demands were not met. The 408 cipher, cryptogram details. The cipher was eventually solved by high school teacher Donald Hardin and his wife Betty. The message within the cryptogram revealed a chilling declaration of the killer's desire to hunt and kill humans, describing the act as more thrilling than hunting wild game. Lake Berryessa attack. The Zodiac's modus operandi shifted with his next known attack, displaying an escalation in his boldness and brutality. Date and location: on September 27, 1969, at Lake Berryessa, Napa County. Victims: college students Brian Hartnell, 20, and Cecilia Shepard, 22. Details of the crime: the couple was picnicking by the lake when a man wearing a black executioner-style hood and a bib-like device with a white crosshair symbol approached them. He tied them up before savagely stabbing them repeatedly. He then drew his signature crosshair symbol on Brian's car door and wrote the dates of his previous attacks. Survival and testimony: Brian survived the attack and provided a detailed description of the assailant. This encounter marked the first time the Zodiac's distinctive symbol was seen, which would become his notorious signature. The Zodiac's communication continues. The Zodiac's need for recognition and control over the narrative was evident in his continued correspondence. October 1969. Letters. Content: the killer sent multiple letters to various newspapers, including a chilling letter to the San Francisco Chronicle, detailing his attack at Lake Berryessa and mocking the police for their inability to catch him. He included a piece of Paul Stein's shirt, a cab driver he had murdered in San Francisco, to prove his authenticity. Paul Stein murder. The Zodiac's next known victim marked a significant escalation in his boldness. Date and location: on October 11, 1969, in the Presidio Heights neighborhood of San Francisco. Victim: Paul Stein, a 29-year-old cab driver. Details of the crime: Stein was shot once in the head at point-blank range. The killer then removed a piece of Stein's shirt, which he later sent to the San Francisco Chronicle. This murder differed from previous attacks as it occurred in an urban area, increasing public fear and media attention. Police investigation and media frenzy. The series of attacks and the killer's taunting communications sparked a massive police investigation and media frenzy. Law enforcement response. The San Francisco Police Department, along with other local and state agencies, launched an intensive investigation. Despite their efforts, the killer's identity remained elusive, largely due to the lack of forensic evidence and the Zodiac's ability to remain one step ahead of the authorities. Media coverage. The Zodiac's letters and the public nature of his crimes captured the media's attention, turning him into a national figure of fear. Newspapers published his letters and ciphers, further cementing his infamy. Psychological profile development behavioral analysis. FBI and local law enforcement agencies began developing a psychological profile of the Zodiac. They concluded he was likely a white male in his late 20s to early 30s, intelligent, methodical, and driven by a desire for power and recognition. Public reaction. The Zodiac's terror campaign had a profound impact on the public. Fear spread through Northern California, leading to changes in social behavior, especially among young couples who were now wary of secluded areas. As the Zodiac killer's notoriety grew, his campaign of terror continued unabated, leading to more attacks, a growing media frenzy, and an increasingly desperate law enforcement effort to bring him to justice. This chapter delves into the further crimes committed by the Zodiac, the chilling letters that followed, and the deepening mystery that captivated and horrified the public. The Zodiac's continued attacks. Kathleen Johns. Incident date and location: on the night of March 22, 1970, near Modesto, California. Victim: Kathleen Johns, a young pregnant woman. Details of the crime. Kathleen was driving to visit her mother when a car behind her began flashing its lights and honking. The driver convinced her to pull over, claiming her wheel was loose. After fixing it, he drove off, but the wheel came off shortly after. The man returned and offered her a ride to a gas station. Once inside his car, Kathleen realized something was wrong. The driver drove aimlessly for nearly 2 hours, threatening her life. She managed to escape by jumping from the car with her baby. Later, she identified the man from a composite sketch of the Zodiac killer. The chilling letters continue. April 20th, 1970. Letter. Recipient, San Francisco Chronicle. Content. The Zodiac claimed responsibility for the abduction of Kathleen Johns and taunted the police for their inability to catch him. He also included a 13-symbol cipher, which has yet to be fully decoded, and a diagram of a bomb he claimed to have planted to kill children on a school bus. June 26, 1970. Letter. Recipient, San Francisco Chronicle. Content. This letter included a map of the San Francisco Bay Area with a crosshair symbol on Mount Diablo and a code consisting of 32 characters. The Zodiac claimed the code would reveal the location of a hidden bomb. He also added a menacing note about his plans to target school buses. The murder of Donna Lass. Disappearance and speculation. Date and location: on September 6, 1970, in South Lake Tahoe, California. Victim: Donna Lass, a nurse at the Sahara Tahoe Hotel and Casino. Details of the crime: Donna disappeared during her night shift, leaving behind no trace. Her car was later found abandoned near her apartment. While the connection to the Zodiac killer is speculative, a postcard received by the San Francisco Chronicle on March 22, 1971, hinted at her murder. The postcard featured an advertisement for a condominium complex with pasted letters spelling out "Sought Victim 12. Further cryptic communications, October 27, 1970. Halloween card. Recipient: Paul Avery, a reporter for the San Francisco Chronicle. Content. The card depicted a skeleton and included the phrase, "Peekaboo, you are doomed." Inside, the Zodiac's message warned Avery of potential danger. This card intensified the personal connection between the Zodiac and the media, particularly Avery, who had been extensively covering the case. March 13, 1971. Letter. Recipient: Los Angeles Times. Content. The Zodiac expressed his pleasure at the ongoing publicity and suggested that he had moved his operations to Southern California. This letter reiterated his disdain for the police and media, mocking their efforts to capture him. The investigation deepens law enforcement challenges. Coordination issues. Multiple law enforcement agencies, including local police, the FBI, and the California Department of Justice, were involved in the investigation. Coordination among these agencies was challenging, leading to issues with information sharing and strategy development. Psychological profiling. Behavioral analysts continued to refine their profile of the Zodiac. They believed he might be a loner with a complex relationship to authority and a compulsion to dominate and control his narrative through his letters and ciphers. Public fear and media coverage. The Zodiac's ability to evade capture and his continuous communication with the media fueled public fear. People were anxious and paranoid, especially in Northern California, where his attacks had been most concentrated. Newspapers, television, and radio stations provided extensive coverage of the Zodiac's crimes and letters. This constant media presence kept the Zodiac in the public eye and may have served to encourage his continued communication. Cryptography and amateur sleuths. Efforts to decode ciphers. The Zodiac's ciphers became a focal point for amateur and professional cryptographers alike. The challenge of decoding his messages attracted significant attention, with varying degrees of success. The 340-character cipher sent on November 8, 1969, remained unsolved for decades. Several amateur sleuths, including Melvin Belli, a prominent lawyer, received letters from the Zodiac. Belli, in particular, was engaged in an attempt to communicate directly with the killer, though these efforts yielded little concrete information. Public involvement. The public's fascination with the Zodiac case led to widespread speculation and involvement. People from various backgrounds attempted to crack the ciphers, provide tips to the police, and develop their theories about the Zodiac's identity and motives, later confirmed in suspected crimes. Sherry Jo Bates. Date and location October 30, 1966 in Riverside, California. Victim Sherry Jo Bates, an 18-year-old college student. Details of the crime. Sherry Jo was brutally murdered near the Riverside City College Library. A handwritten confession letter received a month later, and a desk with a morbid poem carved into it, suggested a connection to the Zodiac. In 1970, a letter was sent to the Riverside Police Department indicating the Zodiac's involvement, but this connection remains disputed. Santa Barbara attack. Date and location June 4, 1963, near Lompoc, California. Victims, high school students, Robert Domingos and Linda Edwards. Details of the crime. The couple was shot and killed on a beach during a senior skip day. Their bodies were found bound and placed in a makeshift shack, then set on fire. Though the Zodiac never claimed responsibility, the crime's nature suggested a possible link. Media and public interaction. Media's role. The media played a dual role in the Zodiac case, both as a conduit for his messages and a source of pressure on law enforcement. The sensational coverage often included reproductions of his letters and ciphers, as well as speculation about his identity and motivations. Public response. The Zodiac's correspondence with the media created an eerie connection between him and the public. His threats, taunts, and detailed descriptions of his crimes led to widespread fear and morbid curiosity. Public engagement in the case through letter writing, cipher-solving attempts, and community meetings became a significant aspect of the Zodiac saga. As the Zodiac killer's reign of terror continued, his communications with the media and law enforcement became more sporadic but no less chilling. This chapter delves into the Zodiac's final known letters, the various suspects that emerged over the years, and the ongoing efforts by law enforcement to solve the case. The final known communications, the March 22, 1971, postcard, recipient San Francisco Chronicle, content known as the Pines card. It was composed of a pasted message that hinted at the disappearance of Donna Lass. The postcard included a vague map and the words, "Sought Victim 12, suggesting that the Zodiac was claiming another victim and continuing his cryptic pattern. The Exorcist letter, date January 29, 1974, recipient San Francisco Chronicle, content. This letter praised the movie The Exorcist as the best satirical comedy that I have ever seen. The letter concluded with a large drawn cross symbol and the number 37 implying a body count. This letter, with its strange tone and references, was the last confirmed correspondence from the Zodiac. Suspects over the years. Arthur Lee Allen. Background. Allen was a convicted child molester and the prime suspect in the Zodiac case for many years. He had been in and out of police scrutiny since the early 1970s. Evidence. Several circumstantial pieces of evidence pointed to Allen. He was allegedly interested in cryptography, had possession of bloody knives, and was known to wear a Zodiac watch, which bore the same crosshair symbol used by the killer. Despite this, no conclusive evidence tied him to the crimes, and he died in 1992 without being charged. Rick Marshall, background: a radio DJ who became a suspect due to similarities between his handwriting and the Zodiac's letters. Evidence. Investigators found numerous film reels in his possession, including one titled The Red Phantom, a name mentioned in one of the Zodiac's letters. However, forensic testing did not link Marshall definitively to the Zodiac. Lawrence Kane, background: Kane was a career criminal with a history of mental illness and run-ins with the law. Evidence: Darlene Ferrin's sister identified Kane as having stalked Ferrin prior to her murder. Kathleen Johns also identified him as her abductor. Despite these identifications, no physical evidence linked him to the crimes. Other suspects. Over the decades, numerous other suspects have been proposed by law enforcement, private investigators, and amateur sleuths. These include Ross Sullivan, who worked at the Riverside Library and was suspected in the Sherry Jo Bates murder, and Bruce Davis, a member of the Manson family. However, none of these individuals were conclusively proven to be the Zodiac. Police and forensic efforts. Fingerprint analysis. Investigators collected latent fingerprints from several of the Zodiac's letters and crime scenes. These prints were compared to those of numerous suspects over the years, including Arthur Lee Allen, but no matches were found. The reliability of these fingerprints remains in question due to potential contamination. Handwriting analysis. Handwriting experts compared the Zodiac's letters with samples from various suspects. While there were similarities in some cases, such as with Arthur Lee Allen and Rick Marshall, the results were inconclusive. Handwriting analysis is not an exact science, and discrepancies can arise from various factors. DNA testing. In the early 2000s, investigators extracted DNA from the saliva on the Zodiac stamps and envelopes. This DNA was compared to known suspects but did not yield any matches. Advances in DNA technology continue to offer hope that a definitive match might still be found. Psychological profiling. Behavioral experts created detailed profiles of the Zodiac, suggesting he was a male in his late 20s to early 30s at the time of the murders, likely with a military background and an above-average IQ. Despite these profiles, the Zodiac's true identity has remained elusive. Cultural impact and media portrayal. Books and films. The Zodiac Killer has been the subject of numerous books and films, each offering different theories and insights into the case. Robert Graysmith's Zodiac and David Fincher's film adaptation brought renewed interest to the case and highlighted the obsessive quest to uncover the killer's identity. Public fascination. The Zodiac case has captivated the public's imagination for decades, becoming a symbol of unsolved mystery and the dark side of human nature. This fascination has led to countless documentaries, podcasts, and online forums dedicated to discussing and dissecting every aspect of the case. Technological advances and new leads. Advances in forensic science. Modern forensic techniques, including advanced DNA analysis and computer-aided investigations, offer new possibilities for solving the Zodiac case. Cold case units and private investigators continue to re-examine evidence with these tools. New suspects and theories. Over the years, new suspects have emerged, often based on fresh interpretations of the evidence or new technological insights. While these leads sometimes rekindle hope, they have yet to produce definitive answers. Digital sleuths. The rise of the internet has given birth to a new generation of amateur investigators. Online communities dedicated to solving the Zodiac case collaborate, share theories, and analyze evidence in ways that were not possible before the digital age. The enduring mystery of the Zodiac Killer has left a lasting legacy of fear, uncertainty, and intrigue. This chapter explores the profound impact on the victims' families, the cultural and societal implications of the case, and the broader lessons learned in the field of criminal investigations. Impact on victims' families. Personal trauma and loss. The families of the Zodiac's victims endured unimaginable grief and trauma. Each murder left behind parents, siblings, friends, and loved ones who struggled to cope with their loss. For many, the inability to see justice served compounded their suffering. The case of Betty Lou Jensen and David Faraday, the Zodiac's first confirmed victims, illustrates this ongoing pain. Both families expressed deep frustration with the lack of resolution and the continuous reopening of wounds every time new information or a new theory emerged. Public scrutiny. The intense media coverage of the Zodiac case often thrust victims' families into the spotlight. Some, like Brian Hartnell, who survived the attack at Lake Berryessa, chose to speak publicly about their experiences, hoping to aid the investigation and honor the memory of those who were lost. Others preferred to grieve in private, finding the constant media attention invasive and distressing. This dichotomy highlights the complex ways in which public interest can affect those directly impacted by such crimes. Advocacy and support. Over the years, several family members of the victims have become advocates for victims' rights and cold case investigations. They have worked to ensure that other families do not have to endure the same prolonged agony of unanswered questions and unresolved cases. Organizations dedicated to supporting the families of murder victims have provided crucial resources and a sense of community for those affected by the Zodiac's crimes. Cultural and societal implications. The mythos of the Zodiac Killer. The Zodiac Killer has become a cultural icon, representing the archetype of the unknown and unstoppable serial killer. This mythos has permeated popular culture, influencing everything from literature and film to true crime documentaries and podcasts. The killer's cryptic letters and ciphers, coupled with his ability to evade capture, created an almost supernatural aura around him. This sense of an omnipotent, ever-present threat resonated deeply with the public, feeding both fascination and fear. Influence on popular media. The Zodiac case has inspired countless works of fiction and nonfiction. Films like Dirty Harry and Zodiac, novels and television series have drawn from the case, often blurring the lines between fact and fiction. True crime as a genre owes much of its popularity to high-profile cases like the Zodiac's. The public's appetite for understanding the minds and methods of serial killers has led to an explosion of media dedicated to exploring these dark themes. Changes in public behavior. The terror induced by the Zodiac's crimes led to significant changes in public behavior, particularly in Northern California. People became more cautious, especially in secluded areas and at night. The fear of an unknown predator influenced social practices and community vigilance. Lessons for criminal investigations. Evolving investigative techniques. The Zodiac case underscored the importance of evolving investigative techniques. The limitations of 1960s and 1970s forensic science prompted significant advancements in areas such as DNA analysis, criminal profiling, and information sharing among law enforcement agencies. Modern cold case units now routinely re-examine evidence with the latest technologies, offering new hope for solving old mysteries. Interagency collaboration. The Zodiac investigation highlighted the challenges of coordinating efforts among multiple law enforcement agencies. Lessons learned from this case have informed current practices, emphasizing the need for improved communication and cooperation across jurisdictions. National databases, such as the FBI's Violent Criminal Apprehension Program, VICAP, were established to facilitate the sharing of information and patterns in violent crimes, helping to identify and apprehend serial offenders more effectively. Public engagement and media relations. The relationship between law enforcement and the media in the Zodiac case demonstrated the power and pitfalls of public engagement. While media coverage can aid investigations by keeping cases in the public eye and encouraging tips, it can also lead to misinformation and undue pressure on investigators. Law enforcement agencies now employ dedicated public information officers and use social media to manage communications, balancing transparency with the need to protect the integrity of investigations. Profiling and behavioral analysis. The Zodiac case was among the early high-profile instances where behavioral analysis and criminal profiling played a crucial role. The insights gained from profiling helped shape modern investigative strategies, and the establishment of specialized units like the FBI's Behavioral Analysis Unit, BAU. Profilers study patterns in criminal behavior to predict future actions, understand motives, and narrow down suspect pools. This approach has become a standard tool in the investigation of serial crimes, continuing efforts in modern approaches. Cold case units. Many law enforcement agencies have established cold case units dedicated to reinvestigating unsolved crimes like the Zodiac case. These units leverage new technologies and methodologies to revisit old evidence and pursue new leads. In recent years, advances in forensic genealogy have led to breakthroughs in long-dormant cases, providing fresh avenues for solving the Zodiac mystery. Digital and crowdsourced investigations. The rise of the internet and digital communication has revolutionized crime solving. Online communities of amateur sleuths collaborate to analyze evidence, share theories, and keep the case in the public consciousness. Platforms like Reddit, YouTube, and specialized true crime forums allow for the pooling of collective intelligence, sometimes yielding significant insights that aid official investigations. Technological innovations. Modern forensic tools, including advanced DNA sequencing, digital forensics, and artificial intelligence, are being employed to re-examine the Zodiac case. These technologies enhance the ability to analyze old evidence, identify new patterns, and generate leads. Law enforcement agencies are increasingly using machine learning algorithms to sift through vast amounts of data, uncovering connections that human investigators might miss. The enduring mystery, speculation, and theories. Despite decades of investigation, the Zodiac killer's true identity remains unknown. This enduring mystery fuels ongoing speculation and the development of new theories. Each new book, documentary, or article adds a piece to the complex puzzle, keeping the case alive in the public imagination. The fascination with the Zodiac case reflects a broader human desire to understand the nature of evil and the minds of those who commit heinous acts. The search for answers continues, driven by the hope that one day the truth will be revealed. The Zodiac killer's cryptic messages and ciphers have fascinated and perplexed both amateur and professional cryptographers for decades. This chapter explores the various attempts to decode these messages, the breakthroughs in cryptography related to the case, and the enduring mystery of the unsolved ciphers. The Zodiac ciphers. The 408 cipher date sent on July 31, 1969, to 3 newspapers. Details. The 408 symbol cryptogram was divided into 3 parts, each sent to a different newspaper. The Zodiac demanded that the ciphers be published or he would kill again. Solution: high school teacher Donald Hardin and his wife Betty solved the cipher. The message revealed the Zodiac's desire to kill and his enjoyment of the act. However, it did not reveal his identity. The 340 cipher date, sent on November 8, 1969. Details. This 340-character cipher remained unsolved for over 50 years and was one of the Zodiac's most infamous puzzles. Solution: in December 2020, a team of 3 amateur cryptographers, David Oranchak, Sam Blake, and Jarl Van Eyck, cracked the 340 cipher using a combination of manual techniques and custom software. The decrypted message was chilling, but it did not reveal the killer's identity or provide significant new leads. The 13-symbol cipher, date, sent on April 20, 1970. Details. This short cipher consisted of 13 characters and came with a letter boasting about the murder of a police officer. It is one of the unsolved ciphers and remains a source of intrigue and speculation. The 32-symbol cipher, date, sent on June 26, 1970. Details. This cipher was sent with a map of the San Francisco Bay Area. The Zodiac claimed it would reveal the location of a bomb he had hidden, though it has never been decoded. The process of decoding cryptographic techniques. Substitution ciphers. The Zodiac primarily used simple substitution ciphers, where each letter of the plaintext is replaced by a corresponding letter of the ciphertext. These types of ciphers are relatively easy to solve with the right approach. Frequency analysis. Cryptographers often used frequency analysis to decode the Zodiac's ciphers. This technique involves analyzing the frequency of letters and patterns in the cipher to identify common letters and words in the English language. Modern technology. Advances in computer technology and algorithms have significantly aided cryptographers. Software tools and custom programs have allowed for more sophisticated analysis and pattern recognition. which were instrumental in solving the 340 cipher. Challenges in decoding ambiguity. The Zodiac ciphers often included intentional misspellings, symbols, and random letters to confuse solvers. Incomplete solutions. Some ciphers, like the 13-symbol cipher, are so short that they may not have a unique solution, making it difficult to verify any proposed decryption. Context and knowledge. The solver's understanding of the context and the killer's mindset plays a crucial role in interpreting the ciphers correctly. Key figures in cryptography. Donald and Betty Hardin. The Hardins were the first to solve a Zodiac cipher, cracking the 408-symbol cryptogram. Their success demonstrated the value of amateur cryptographers in the case. David Oranchak, Sam Blake, and Jarl van Eyck. This team solved the 340 cipher in 2020. Their collaboration, combining manual techniques and computer-assisted analysis, marked a significant breakthrough in the case. Robert Graysmith, an amateur investigator and cartoonist for the San Francisco Chronicle, Graysmith became deeply involved in the Zodiac case. While not a cryptographer, his obsession with the case and subsequent books helped keep public interest alive and inspired others to work on the ciphers. The role of amateur sleuths. Online communities. The Internet has facilitated the formation of communities dedicated to solving the Zodiac ciphers. Websites, forums, and social media groups have allowed individuals to collaborate, share ideas, and build on each other's work. Sites like ZodiacKiller.com and Reddit have become hubs for these amateur sleuths, providing a platform for discussion, hypothesis testing, and collective problem-solving. Public engagement. The public's fascination with the Zodiac ciphers has led to widespread participation in the effort to decode them. This engagement has brought together people from diverse backgrounds, including hobbyists, professional cryptographers, linguists, and computer scientists. The collaborative nature of these efforts exemplifies the power of crowdsourced problem-solving, where diverse perspectives can contribute to breakthroughs. The unsolved ciphers and continuing mystery. The 13-symbol cipher. Despite numerous attempts, the 13-symbol cipher remains unsolved. Its brevity makes it particularly challenging, as it could represent a variety of potential messages. Speculation about the cipher's content ranges from a simple boast to a crucial clue about the Zodiac's identity. The lack of a definitive solution keeps the mystery alive and drives ongoing efforts to decode it. The 32-symbol cipher. Similar to the 13-symbol cipher, the 32-symbol cipher continues to baffle cryptographers. The map accompanying this cipher adds another layer of complexity, suggesting that the solution may involve geographic or spatial reasoning. The unresolved status of these ciphers means that they remain tantalizing puzzles, inviting continued analysis and attempts at decryption. Future prospects. Advances in artificial intelligence and machine learning hold promise for solving the remaining ciphers. These technologies can analyze vast amounts of data and identify patterns that might elude human solvers. The persistent interest in the Zodiac case ensures that efforts to decode the remaining ciphers will continue, driven by both professional cryptographers and dedicated amateurs. The Zodiac killer case significantly influenced law enforcement practices and the development of criminal profiling. This chapter explores how the investigation shaped modern police procedures, the evolution of serial killer profiling, and the case's enduring influence on investigative techniques. Evolution of law enforcement practices, coordination and information sharing. The Zodiac investigation highlighted the need for better coordination among law enforcement agencies. Multiple jurisdictions, including local police departments and the FBI, were involved, but their efforts were often fragmented. In response to the challenges faced during the Zodiac investigation, law enforcement agencies have since developed more integrated approaches. The establishment of centralized databases and communication networks, such as the National Crime Information Center, NCIC, has improved information sharing and coordination in multi-jurisdictional cases. Development of task forces. The Zodiac case underscored the importance of specialized task forces for handling complex investigations. These task forces bring together experts from various fields, including forensic science, criminal psychology, and digital analysis. Modern task forces, such as the FBI's Behavioral Analysis Unit, BAU, have been instrumental in solving high-profile cases by pooling expertise and resources. Forensic advancements. The limitations of forensic technology in the 1960s and 1970s hindered the Zodiac investigation. Advances in DNA analysis, fingerprinting, and digital forensics have since revolutionized criminal investigations. Modern techniques, such as genetic genealogy, have been used to solve cold cases by identifying suspects through familial DNA matches. These methods hold promise for potentially identifying the Zodiac killer if relevant biological evidence can be found and analyzed. Serial killer. Early profiling efforts. The Zodiac case was one of the early instances where behavioral analysis and criminal profiling were applied. Profilers attempted to understand the killer's motivations, patterns, and characteristics to predict his future actions and narrow down suspect lists. These early efforts laid the groundwork for the systematic development of criminal profiling as a discipline within law enforcement. The FBI's Behavioral Science Unit, established in the 1970s, the FBI's Behavioral Science Unit, later the BAU, played a pivotal role in developing techniques for profiling serial killers. Agents studied patterns in violent crimes and interviewed convicted serial killers to gain insights into their behavior and psychology. The lessons learned from these studies were applied to ongoing investigations, including the Zodiac case. Profiling has since become an essential tool in understanding and apprehending serial offenders. Characteristics of the Zodiac profile. Profilers of the Zodiac killer concluded that he was likely a white male, age 25, 35, with above-average intelligence and a possible background in military or technical fields. He exhibited a need for control, attention, and validation, as evidenced by his taunting letters and ciphers. The Zodiac's ability to blend into society and his apparent lack of a clear victim profile, apart from targeting couples, made him particularly challenging to catch. This unpredictability is a common trait among some of the most elusive serial killers. Modern investigative techniques. Cold case units. The establishment of dedicated cold case units has allowed law enforcement agencies to revisit unsolved cases like the Zodiac. These units use the latest forensic technologies and investigative techniques to re-examine evidence and pursue new leads. Cold case units have successfully solved numerous decades-old cases, providing hope that the Zodiac case might one day be resolved through persistent investigation and technological advancements. Digital forensics. The digital age has transformed how investigations are conducted. Digital forensics involves analyzing electronic devices, data storage, and online activity to gather evidence and build cases. In the Zodiac case, digital tools have been used to analyze the ciphers, cross-reference suspect information, and manage the vast amounts of data associated with the investigation. Public and media collaboration. The media played a crucial role in the Zodiac case, both by disseminating the killer's letters and by keeping the public informed. Today, law enforcement agencies often collaborate with media outlets to generate tips and maintain public interest in unsolved cases. Social media platforms and online forums have become valuable resources for investigators, allowing for real-time engagement with the public and the dissemination of information about ongoing investigations. Artificial intelligence and machine learning. AI and machine learning technologies are increasingly being used to analyze patterns in criminal behavior, identify potential suspects, and predict future crimes. These tools can process vast amounts of data quickly, identifying connections that might be missed by human investigators. In the Zodiac case, machine learning algorithms have been employed to re-examine the ciphers and other evidence, offering new insights and potential leads. Lessons learned. The importance of persistence. The Zodiac investigation taught law enforcement the value of persistence and tenacity. Despite the passage of time, continued efforts to solve the case demonstrate a commitment to justice for the victims and their families. Persistent investigation, combined with technological advancements, can yield breakthroughs even in seemingly unsolvable cases. Balancing public engagement and privacy. The Zodiac case highlighted the need to balance public engagement with the privacy and dignity of victims and their families. While media coverage can aid investigations, it must be managed carefully to avoid sensationalism and protect those affected by the crimes. Modern law enforcement agencies strive to maintain transparency with the public while ensuring that sensitive information is handled responsibly. Adapting to new technologies. The continuous evolution of technology requires law enforcement to adapt and stay current with new tools and methodologies. Embracing technological advancements can enhance investigative capabilities and improve the chances of solving complex cases. Training and education for investigators in digital forensics, AI, and other emerging fields are essential for maintaining an edge in modern criminal investigations. The Zodiac Killer's enigmatic persona and chilling crimes have made him a fixture in popular culture. This chapter examines how the Zodiac case has been represented in various media, the ongoing public fascination with the mystery, and the broader impact on the true crime genre. Representation in literature. True crime books, Zodiac by Robert Graysmith. Graysmith, a cartoonist for the San Francisco Chronicle, became obsessed with the case and published Zodiac in 1986. His book provided a detailed account of the crimes and his theories about the killer's identity. It brought renewed attention to the case and remains one of the most influential works on the Zodiac. The Most Dangerous Animal of All by Gary Stewart. Published in 2014, Stewart's book claims that his biological father, Earl Van Best Jr., was the Zodiac Killer. While controversial and disputed by many, it reflects the ongoing quest to solve the mystery through personal connections and new interpretations of evidence. Fictional works. The Zodiac case has inspired numerous fictionalized accounts, with authors using the killer as a basis for novels that explore themes of fear, mystery, and the human psyche. Works such as The Last Victim by Jason Moss and The Silence of the Lambs by Thomas Harris, while not directly about the Zodiac, draw upon the archetype of the intelligent, elusive serial killer that the Zodiac epitomizes. Film and television. Dirty Harry, 1971. This film, directed by Don Siegel and starring Clint Eastwood, features a killer named Scorpio who is based on the Zodiac. The film captures the public's fear and the intense police pursuit that characterize the real-life case, albeit with significant dramatization. Zodiac, 2007. Directed by David Fincher and based on Robert Graysmith's books, this critically acclaimed film provides a detailed and atmospheric portrayal of the investigation. Starring Jake Gyllenhaal, Mark Ruffalo, and Robert Downey Jr., it emphasizes the obsessive nature of those who sought to uncover the Zodiac's identity and the impact of the case on their lives. Documentaries and TV shows. The Zodiac case has been the subject of numerous documentaries and TV shows, including The Hunt for the Zodiac Killer on the History Channel and Mystery Quest. These programs explore different aspects of the case, from investigative methods to new theories, keeping the public engaged and informed. Podcasts and online media. True crime podcasts. The rise of true crime podcasts has brought the Zodiac case to a new generation. Shows like Criminology and the Zodiac Killer podcast series delve deep into the details of the case, interviewing experts and discussing theories. Podcasts provide a platform for ongoing discussion and analysis, allowing listeners to engage with the material in an accessible and episodic format. Online communities. Platforms such as Reddit, YouTube, and dedicated Zodiac websites host vibrant communities of amateur sleuths and true crime enthusiasts. These online spaces allow for collaborative investigation, theory sharing, and the dissemination of new findings. Online forums often feature detailed analyses of the Zodiac's letters, crime scenes, and potential suspects, showcasing the public's enduring interest in solving the case. The Zodiac Killer's influence on the true crime genre. Shaping the genre. The Zodiac case has had a profound impact on the true crime genre, influencing how stories of unsolved crimes are told. The blend of mystery, psychological intrigue, and the killer's taunting communications set a template for future true crime narratives. The Zodiac's use of ciphers and letters adds a layer of interactivity, encouraging readers and viewers to engage with the material and attempt to solve the puzzles themselves. Serial killer archetype. The Zodiac Killer has become an archetype in the portrayal of serial killers in media. His intelligence, elusiveness, and the sheer audacity of his crimes have influenced characters in books, films, and TV shows. This archetype often includes elements such as cryptic communication, a cat-and-mouse game with law enforcement, and a profound psychological complexity. Broader cultural impact. Public fascination with mystery. The Zodiac case taps into a deep-seated human fascination with mystery and the unknown. The killer's ability to remain unidentified despite intense scrutiny intrigues and frustrates the public, keeping interest in the case alive. This fascination is reflected in the popularity of escape rooms, puzzle games, and other forms of entertainment that challenge participants to solve complex problems. Impact on criminal justice awareness. The case has raised awareness about the challenges of criminal investigations and the importance of forensic science. Public interest in the Zodiac has highlighted the need for advancements in technology and methodology in solving crimes. Educational programs and courses on criminal justice often use the Zodiac case as a study example, illustrating both the complexities and the evolution of investigative techniques. Societal reflections. The Zodiac case reflects broader societal issues, including the fear of random violence, the role of media in shaping public perception, and the psychological impact of unsolved crimes on communities. Discussions about the Zodiac often delve into themes of trust in law enforcement, the psychological profile of serial killers, and the collective memory of traumatic events. The investigation of the Zodiac killer has persisted over decades, benefiting from significant advances in forensic science and technology. This chapter delves into the technological progress that has enhanced the ability to analyze evidence, recent breakthroughs in cold cases, and the potential for solving the Zodiac case using modern techniques. DNA analysis and genetic genealogy. Evolution of DNA forensics. In the late 20th century, DNA analysis revolutionized criminal investigations. Techniques such as polymerase chain reaction, PCR, and short tandem repeat, STR analysis allowed for the amplification and comparison of DNA samples from crime scenes and suspects. The collection of DNA from Zodiac crime scenes has been limited, but advancements in technology have improved the ability to analyze even degraded or minute samples. Genetic genealogy. The use of genetic genealogy has led to the resolution of several high-profile cold cases. By uploading DNA profiles to public databases, investigators can identify familial matches and narrow down potential suspects. The Golden State Killer case, solved in 2018 through genetic genealogy, exemplifies the potential for this technology to identify elusive criminals. Similar methods could be applied to any viable DNA evidence from the Zodiac case, offering new avenues for investigation. Advances in fingerprint analysis. Automated fingerprint identification systems, AFIS. The development of AFIS has greatly enhanced the ability to match fingerprints from crime scenes to known prints in databases. These systems use complex algorithms to compare ridge patterns and minutia points. If viable fingerprint evidence from Zodiac letters or crime scenes exists, it could be reanalyzed using modern AFIS technology to identify potential matches that were previously missed. Latent print analysis. Improvements in latent print analysis have allowed for the enhancement and identification of prints that were once considered unusable. Techniques such as vacuum metal deposition and digital enhancement have improved the clarity of latent prints. Revisiting the fingerprint evidence in the Zodiac case with these advanced methods might yield new insights and potential matches. Digital forensics and data analysis, electronic data and communication analysis. The rise of digital forensics has enabled investigators to analyze electronic data, including emails, social media, and digital communications. This can uncover connections and patterns that were previously inaccessible. Although the Zodiac's crimes predate the digital age, digital forensics can be applied to online discussions, forums, and communications about the case, potentially uncovering new leads or suspect information. Machine learning and artificial intelligence. AI and machine learning algorithms can process large data sets to identify patterns and correlations that human analysts might miss. These technologies are increasingly used in criminal investigations to predict criminal behavior and analyze complex data. Applying AI to the Zodiac's ciphers, letters, and crime scene data could reveal patterns or connections that have eluded traditional analysis, offering new directions for the investigation. Breakthroughs in cold cases. Golden State Killer. The capture of Joseph James DeAngelo, the Golden State Killer, in 2018 through genetic genealogy highlighted the potential for solving long cold cases. His arrest after decades of evasion provided hope to investigators and families affected by unsolved crimes. This breakthrough demonstrated the power of combining traditional investigative methods with cutting-edge technology, a model that could be applied to the Zodiac case. Other notable cold case resolutions. Advances in forensic science have led to the resolution of numerous other cold cases. For example, the identification of the Bear Brook victims and their killer through genetic genealogy underscored the transformative impact of new technologies. Each success story in solving cold cases reaffirms the importance of persistence and innovation in criminal investigations, encouraging renewed efforts in the Zodiac case. Modern investigative approaches. Interdisciplinary collaboration. Modern investigations benefit from interdisciplinary collaboration, bringing together experts in forensic science, criminal psychology, digital forensics, and other fields. This holistic approach enhances the ability to analyze evidence and develop comprehensive profiles of suspects. The Zodiac case would benefit from such an interdisciplinary team, leveraging the latest advancements in each field to re-examine the evidence and generate new leads. Public engagement and crowdsourcing. Engaging the public through crowdsourcing has become an effective tool in modern investigations. Platforms like Reddit and specialized forums allow amateur sleuths to contribute their skills and insights to complex cases. The continued public interest in the Zodiac case, combined with crowdsourcing efforts, can complement official investigations, bringing fresh perspectives and potentially uncovering new evidence. Renewed forensic examination. Modern forensic techniques, including advanced DNA sequencing, touch DNA analysis, and microtrace evidence examination, offer new possibilities for re-examining old evidence. These methods can identify previously undetectable clues. Revisiting the physical evidence from the Zodiac case with these cutting-edge techniques could provide the breakthrough needed to solve the mystery. Potential for future breakthroughs. Ongoing research and development. The field of forensic science continues to evolve, with ongoing research and development leading to new tools and methodologies. As these advancements emerge, they offer renewed hope for solving cases like the Zodiac's. Keeping the Zodiac case active and integrating the latest forensic innovations ensures that any potential breakthroughs can be promptly applied to the investigation. Collaboration with private sector. Collaborating with private sector companies specializing in forensic technology and genetic genealogy can provide access to resources and expertise that may not be available within public law enforcement agencies. Partnerships with companies like Parabon Nanolabs, which played a crucial role in the Golden State Killer case, could enhance the Zodiac investigation by bringing additional technological capabilities to bear. The Zodiac Killer's reign of terror had profound implications for society, affecting not only the immediate victims and their families, but also the broader community and law enforcement practices. This chapter delves into the psychological impact on communities, changes in public behavior, and the long-term effects on law enforcement policies. Psychological impact on communities' fear and anxiety. The Zodiac's random and brutal attacks instilled widespread fear and anxiety in Northern California, particularly in the San Francisco Bay Area. The unpredictable nature of his crimes, targeting young couples in secluded areas, heightened the sense of vulnerability among residents. This pervasive fear disrupted daily life, with people avoiding activities they once considered safe, such as going on dates in remote locations or taking late-night drives. Community vigilance. The terror brought communities together in their efforts to protect themselves. Neighborhood watch programs and community patrols became more common as residents sought to prevent further attacks. This increased vigilance extended to a greater awareness of suspicious behavior and a collective effort to report potential threats to authorities. Impact on youth and families. The Zodiac's targeting of young couples had a particularly strong impact on the youth and their families. Parents became more protective, restricting their children's activities and implementing stricter curfews. Young people, especially those in the Zodiac's preferred victim demographic, experienced heightened anxiety and changes in their social behaviors, often avoiding secluded spots and being more cautious about their surroundings. Changes in public behavior. Social behavior adjustments. Public behavior shifted significantly due to the fear of becoming the next victim. Activities that once brought joy and relaxation, such as picnics and evening outings, were often abandoned in favor of staying in more populated, well-lit areas. The Zodiac's threat extended beyond immediate geographic areas as the case gained national attention, influencing behavior and safety practices across the country. Increased awareness of personal safety. The Zodiac case contributed to a growing public awareness of personal safety. Self-defense classes, the purchase of security devices, and the implementation of safety protocols became more prevalent as individuals sought to protect themselves. Public campaigns and educational programs on personal safety and crime prevention gained traction, emphasizing the importance of being aware of one's surroundings and taking proactive measures to avoid becoming a victim. Media influence on behavior. Extensive media coverage of the Zodiac's crimes and letters amplified the sense of danger, influencing public perception and behavior. The constant reporting and sensational headlines kept the fear alive, making people more cautious and alert. The media's role in disseminating information about the case also contributed to widespread paranoia, with some individuals becoming overly suspicious of strangers and altering their routines based on news reports. Long-term effects on law enforcement policies. Enhanced investigative techniques. The Zodiac investigation highlighted the need for improved investigative techniques and resources. Law enforcement agencies began to invest more in forensic science, criminal profiling, and interagency cooperation to tackle complex cases. The establishment of specialized units, such as cold case squads and behavioral analysis teams, was influenced by the challenges faced in the Zodiac investigation. Policy reforms. The Zodiac case prompted reforms in law enforcement policies, emphasizing the importance of timely communication and coordination between agencies. These reforms aimed to prevent the bureaucratic delays and jurisdictional conflicts that hampered the initial investigation. Policies were also implemented to enhance the protection of crime scene integrity and the proper handling of evidence, ensuring that critical information was preserved for future analysis. Public engagement strategies. Law enforcement agencies recognized the value of public engagement and developed strategies to foster better communication with the community. This included regular updates on ongoing investigations, public appeals for information, and the establishment of anonymous tip lines. The case demonstrated the importance of maintaining a balance between transparency and the protection of sensitive information, guiding future approaches to media relations and public outreach. Societal reflections on crime and justice. Discussion on criminal justice system. The Zodiac case sparked discussions on the effectiveness of the criminal justice system in handling serial crimes. Public scrutiny of law enforcement efforts led to calls for more resources, better training, and the adoption of new technologies to combat crime. The case also highlighted the need for a more victim-centered approach, ensuring that the rights and needs of victims and their families were prioritized throughout the investigative and judicial processes. Impact on legislation. The fear generated by the Zodiac's crimes influenced legislative actions, with lawmakers advocating for stricter penalties for violent crimes and improved measures for tracking and apprehending serial offenders. Legislation aimed at enhancing public safety, such as the establishment of sex offender registries and improvements in parole and probation monitoring, gained support in the wake of high-profile cases like the Zodiac. Cultural reflections on violence. The Zodiac case contributed to a broader cultural reflection on violence and its impact on society. Discussions on the nature of evil, the psychology of killers, and the societal factors contributing to criminal behavior became more prevalent. Artistic expressions, including literature, film, and visual arts, explored these themes, using the Zodiac as a symbol of the darker aspects of human nature and the challenges of confronting and understanding such threats. Over the years, numerous theories and suspects have emerged in the Zodiac killer case. This chapter examines the various hypotheses proposed by investigators, journalists, and amateur sleuths, evaluating the strengths and weaknesses of each and exploring the ongoing quest to unmask the killer. Notable suspects: Arthur Lee Allen. Background: a convicted child molester, Allen was considered the prime suspect for many years. He was first interviewed by police in 1969 and became a focal point of the investigation after multiple informants pointed to him. Evidence: Allen owned a Zodiac brand wristwatch, which featured the same symbol used by the killer. He also matched physical descriptions provided by some eyewitnesses. Allen's suspicious behavior and possession of incriminating items, such as bloody knives, added to the case against him. Weaknesses: despite circumstantial evidence, no definitive forensic link was ever established. DNA tests conducted in the early 2000s did not match Allen, and handwriting analysis failed to conclusively connect him to the Zodiac letters. Lawrence Kane. Background: a career criminal with a history of mental illness, Kane became a suspect due to his potential connection to several Zodiac victims and his physical resemblance to composite sketches. Evidence: Darlene Ferrin's sister and Kathleen Johns both identified Kane as a potential suspect. He had been living near the locations of several Zodiac attacks during the relevant time periods. Weaknesses: like Allen, no forensic evidence linked Kane to the crimes. Additionally, his alibi for certain dates of the attacks and lack of definitive proof weakened the case against him. Rick Marshall. Background: a projectionist and radio DJ, Marshall became a suspect due to perceived similarities between his handwriting and the Zodiac's letters, as well as his eccentric behavior. Evidence: Marshall's possession of film reels, including one titled The Red Phantom, a name used in a Zodiac letter, and his proximity to the crime scenes aroused suspicion. Weaknesses: handwriting analysis was inconclusive, and forensic evidence did not support his involvement. Marshall's odd behavior, while suspicious, did not provide concrete evidence of his guilt. Bruce Davis. Background: a member of the Manson family, Davis was considered a potential suspect due to his violent history and connections to the time and place of the Zodiac's activities. Evidence: Davis's involvement with a notorious cult and his known presence in California during the Zodiac's active years led some to theorize a link. Weaknesses: no direct evidence connected Davis to the Zodiac crimes. His known modus operandi differed significantly from the Zodiac's, and he was involved in other criminal activities that occupied his time during the Zodiac's attacks. Other suspects: various other individuals have been proposed as suspects over the years, including Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber, Edward Wayne Edwards, a convicted serial killer, and even lesser-known figures like Ross Sullivan and Donald Hardin. Each suspect brought unique circumstantial evidence and theories but lacked definitive proof. Theories and hypotheses: multiple killers theory. Concept: some theorists propose that the Zodiac crimes were committed by more than one individual, possibly working together or independently, but using the same modus operandi and signature to create a singular persona. Evidence: variations in the descriptions of the Zodiac by survivors and differences in handwriting across some letters suggest the possibility of multiple perpetrators. Weaknesses: this theory complicates the narrative and makes the pattern of communication and consistency in the letters harder to explain. The notion of a single taunting persona is more straightforward and widely accepted. Copycat theory. Concept: another theory suggests that some of the Zodiac's letters and possibly some attacks were carried out by copycats seeking to capitalize on the fear and notoriety generated by the original killer. Evidence: discrepancies in handwriting, tone, and content of certain letters, as well as the timing of some attacks, support the idea that not all were the work of the same individual. Weaknesses: while plausible, this theory does not account for the consistency in key details and the overarching narrative created by the Zodiac, which implies a single mastermind behind most of the communication. Hoax theory. Concept: some believe that the Zodiac's letters were part of an elaborate hoax, with the killer exaggerating or fabricating certain details to enhance his mystique and terrorize the public. Evidence: inconsistent claims and unverified details in some letters lend credibility to this theory. The Zodiac's penchant for grandiosity and manipulation supports the possibility of exaggeration. Weaknesses: the confirmed murders and credible details provided in many letters suggest a genuine threat rather than a complete hoax. The physical evidence from crime scenes corroborates many of the Zodiac's claims. Ongoing investigation and research continued public interest. The Zodiac case continues to captivate the public, with amateur sleuths, researchers, and true crime enthusiasts actively contributing to the investigation. Online communities, books, and documentaries keep the case in the spotlight and encourage fresh perspectives. New theories and potential suspects emerge regularly, driven by advances in forensic science and the relentless curiosity of those dedicated to solving the mystery. Technological advancements. As forensic technology evolves, so too do the methods available to investigators. Techniques such as genetic genealogy, advanced fingerprint analysis, and digital forensics offer new hope for breakthroughs in the case. Re-examining existing evidence with these modern tools could potentially identify the Zodiac or provide new leads that were previously unattainable. Interdisciplinary collaboration. The complexity of the Zodiac case benefits from interdisciplinary collaboration, bringing together experts in criminology, psychology, forensic science, and technology. This holistic approach enhances the potential for new insights and solutions. Collaborative efforts between public agencies and private entities, such as universities and forensic companies, provide additional resources and expertise to aid in the investigation. The Zodiac killer case has profoundly impacted the field of criminal psychology and profiling, shaping how law enforcement and researchers approach the study of serial killers. This chapter explores the ways in which the Zodiac case has influenced profiling techniques, the understanding of criminal behavior, and the broader field of criminal psychology. Development of criminal profiling. Early profiling efforts. The Zodiac case was among the early instances where criminal profiling was applied. Investigators sought to understand the killer's motives, patterns, and personality traits to predict future actions and narrow down suspect lists. The FBI's Behavioral Science Unit, BSU, began to formalize profiling techniques in the 1970s, using insights from the Zodiac case and other high-profile serial killings to develop systematic approaches to understanding criminal behavior. Behavioral patterns and signatures. Profilers examined the Zodiac's behavior, including his choice of victims, methods of attack, and the taunting letters he sent to the media. These elements helped identify behavioral patterns and the killer's psychological signature. The Zodiac's need for attention and control, as evidenced by his communication with the press and police, provided key insights into his personality, suggesting traits of narcissism and psychopathy. Insights into criminal behavior motivations of serial killers. The Zodiac case contributed to the understanding of what drives serial killers. His apparent thrill from killing and the desire for notoriety highlighted the complex interplay of psychological gratification and the need for recognition. The case underscored the diversity of motivations among serial killers, ranging from personal gratification and power to ideological reasons and mental illness. The role of media in criminal behavior. The Zodiac's use of the media to communicate his threats and boast about his crimes demonstrated how media attention can play into the psychological needs of a killer. This interaction influenced subsequent media strategies in handling serial killer cases. Understanding the media's role in satisfying the psychological needs of offenders has led to more careful management of public communications to avoid giving criminals the attention they crave. Advancements in psychological profiling. Refinement of profiling techniques. The Zodiac case helped refine profiling techniques by emphasizing the importance of analyzing both the crime scenes and the communications from the killer. Profilers began to integrate forensic evidence with behavioral analysis to create comprehensive profiles. The case also highlighted the need for continuous updates and validation of profiling methods based on new findings and advancements in psychological research. Case studies and academic research. The Zodiac killer became a prominent case study in criminal psychology and criminology courses. Academic research often uses the case to explore theories of criminal behavior, profiling accuracy, and investigative methodologies. This academic focus has led to the development of more sophisticated models for understanding and predicting the actions of serial killers. Broader understanding of serial killers, typologies and classifications. The Zodiac case contributed to the development of serial killer typologies, such as organized versus disorganized killers. The Zodiac's meticulous planning, choice of victims, and method of operation suggested an organized killer with specific goals. These typologies help investigators categorize suspects and predict future behavior, aiding in the development of targeted investigative strategies. Psychological traits and disorders. Profilers and psychologists have examined the potential psychological traits and disorders exhibited by the Zodiac, such as antisocial personality disorder, narcissistic personality disorder, and psychopathy. These insights assist in understanding the underlying psychological factors that drive individuals to commit serial crimes, helping to identify potential suspects and prevent future offenses. Impact on law enforcement training. Integration of behavioral science. The insights gained from the Zodiac case and similar investigations have led to the integration of behavioral science into law enforcement training programs. Officers and investigators are trained to recognize behavioral patterns and use psychological principles in their work. This interdisciplinary approach enhances the ability of law enforcement to understand and anticipate the actions of serial offenders, improving the overall effectiveness of investigations. Use of psychological profiles in investigations. Psychological profiles are now a standard tool in major criminal investigations. These profiles help narrow down suspect lists, guide interrogation strategies, and provide insights into potential future actions of the perpetrator. The Zodiac case exemplifies the value of profiling in understanding complex criminal behavior and developing targeted investigative approaches. Influence on future research and investigations. Ongoing research in criminal psychology. The Zodiac case continues to inspire research in criminal psychology, with scholars and practitioners exploring new theories and methodologies to understand and address serial criminal behavior. Advances in neuroscience, genetics, and psychology provide new tools and perspectives for investigating the minds of serial killers, building on the foundational work influenced by the Zodiac case. Interdisciplinary approaches. The complexity of the Zodiac case has encouraged interdisciplinary collaboration among criminologists, psychologists, forensic scientists, and law enforcement professionals. This holistic approach enhances the ability to address the multifaceted nature of serial crimes. Ongoing collaboration between academic institutions, law enforcement agencies, and private sector organizations fosters innovation and the development of new investigative techniques. The Zodiac killer case remains one of the most captivating unsolved mysteries in American history. This chapter examines the public's continued fascination with the Zodiac, exploring how the mystery has persisted in popular culture, the efforts to keep the investigation alive, and the societal impact of this enduring enigma. Persistent media attention. Books and documentaries. The Zodiac case has inspired numerous books, with authors such as Robert Graysmith and Gary Stewart, providing detailed accounts and theories. These works keep the case in the public eye, offering new perspectives and insights. Documentaries including The Hunt for the Zodiac Killer and Mystery Quest delve into the details of the case, often featuring interviews with investigators, experts, and family members. These productions explore different angles and update audiences on the latest developments. Film and television. Films like David Fincher's Zodiac and TV shows such as American Horror Story have incorporated elements of the Zodiac case, blending fact with fiction to captivate audiences. These dramatizations contribute to the legend of the Zodiac, keeping the story relevant and intriguing. True crime television series regularly revisit the case, highlighting it in episodes dedicated to unsolved mysteries and cold cases. Online communities and sleuthing forums and discussion boards. Online platforms like Reddit and dedicated Zodiac websites host active communities of amateur sleuths who analyze evidence, share theories, and discuss new findings. These forums provide a collaborative space for enthusiasts to engage with the case. Detailed analyses of Zodiac's letters, ciphers, and crime scenes are regularly posted, with users contributing their expertise in various fields, including cryptography, forensics, and psychology. Social media impact. Social media platforms amplify public interest in the Zodiac case, allowing for the rapid dissemination of information and theories. Hashtags, posts, and videos about the Zodiac reach a broad audience, ensuring that new generations learn about and become interested in the case. True crime influencers and content creators on platforms like YouTube and Instagram frequently feature the Zodiac case, discussing its details and engaging with their followers' theories and questions. Continued investigation and new leads. Crowdsourced efforts. Crowdsourcing has become a powerful tool in modern investigations. Platforms that allow the public to contribute to case-solving efforts have been applied to the Zodiac case, encouraging widespread participation and the pooling of collective intelligence. Public contributions can lead to the discovery of new leads or the re-evaluation of existing evidence, providing fresh insights into the investigation. Technological advances. Advances in forensic technology, such as genetic genealogy and digital forensics, offer new hope for solving the Zodiac case. Investigators continuously re-examine evidence with these cutting-edge tools, looking for breakthroughs. Artificial intelligence and machine learning are also being explored as methods to analyze the Zodiac's ciphers and communications, potentially uncovering patterns or connections that were previously missed. Societal impact and cultural reflection. Enduring mystery, the Zodiac case exemplifies society's fascination with unsolved mysteries. The killer's ability to evade capture despite extensive efforts by law enforcement creates a narrative of intrigue and suspense that captivates the public imagination. This enduring mystery sparks discussions about the nature of evil, the capabilities of law enforcement, and the potential for human ingenuity to solve complex problems. Influence on true crime genre. The Zodiac case has significantly influenced the true crime genre, setting a precedent for how unsolved cases are presented in media. The blend of factual reporting, psychological analysis, and speculative theories creates a compelling format that has been emulated in other true crime stories. The public's appetite for true crime content has grown, with the Zodiac case serving as a prime example of the genre's ability to engage and educate audiences. Educational and academic interest. Case studies in criminology. The Zodiac case is frequently used as a case study in criminology and criminal justice courses. It provides a comprehensive example of the challenges and complexities involved in investigating serial crimes. Students analyze various aspects of the case, including forensic evidence, profiling techniques, media interaction, and the impact on victims' families, gaining a deeper understanding of investigative processes. Psychological research. The Zodiac's behavior and communications are subjects of ongoing psychological research, contributing to the broader understanding of criminal psychology. Researchers study the case to explore the motivations and psychological profiles of serial killers. Insights gained from the Zodiac case inform the development of profiling methods and investigative strategies, enhancing the field of criminal psychology. Legacy and ongoing impact. Influence on law enforcement practices. The Zodiac case has influenced modern law enforcement practices, emphasizing the importance of interagency collaboration, forensic advancements, and the integration of behavioral science into investigations. Policies and procedures developed in response to the challenges faced during the Zodiac investigation continue to shape how serial crimes are investigated today. Public awareness and safety. The case has heightened public awareness of personal safety and the potential dangers posed by unidentified criminals. It has contributed to the development of safety protocols and community vigilance efforts. Educational campaigns on crime prevention and public safety draw on lessons learned from the Zodiac case, promoting proactive measures to protect individuals and communities. The Zodiac killer's crimes left a lasting impact on the individuals directly involved, including survivors, family members of victims, and investigators. This chapter delves into the personal stories and experiences of those affected by the Zodiac's actions, highlighting the human side of this infamous case. Survivors' stories. Michael Mageau. Incident. Michael Mageau survived the Zodiac's attack on July 4, 1969, at Blue Rock Springs Park, where his companion, Darlene Ferrin, was killed. Experience. Mageau provided crucial details to investigators about the assailant's appearance and the events leading up to the attack. His survival and testimony offered significant insights into the Zodiac's modus operandi. Aftermath. The trauma of the attack and the loss of Farron had a profound impact on Mago's life. He struggled with the psychological scars and the burden of being one of the few people to come face to face with the Zodiac and live to tell the tale. Brian Hartnell. Incident. On September 27, 1969, Brian Hartnell and Cecilia Shepard were attacked by the Zodiac at Lake Berryessa. Hartnell survived despite being stabbed multiple times. Experience. Hartnell's detailed recollections of the attack, including the killer's distinctive costume and methodical approach, provided valuable information to law enforcement. Aftermath. The attack left Hartnell with physical and emotional scars. He has spoken publicly about his experience, contributing to the understanding of the Zodiac's behavior and maintaining the memory of Shepard. Families of victims Jensen and Faraday. Families victims. Betty Lou Jensen and David Faraday were the Zodiac's first confirmed victims, killed on December 20, 1968. Impact. The families of Jensen and Faraday were devastated by the loss of their children. Their grief was compounded by the public nature of the case and the lack of resolution over the years. Legacy. Both families have advocated for continued efforts to solve the case, seeking justice for their loved ones and closure for themselves. Farron family. Victim, Darlene Farron, was killed in the attack at Blue Rock Springs Park. Impact. Farron's family experienced intense grief and frustration, particularly as the case remained unsolved. The public's interest in the case often intruded on their mourning process. Legacy. Farron's sister has been vocal about her belief in certain suspects, keeping the case in the public eye and urging investigators to pursue all leads. Stein family victim. Paul Stein, a San Francisco cab driver, was murdered by the Zodiac on October 11, 1969. Impact. Stein's family was deeply affected by his sudden and brutal death. The fact that Stein was the Zodiac's only known victim in a densely populated urban area added to the public fear and family's sorrow. Legacy. The Stein family has called for continued investigation and remembrance of Paul, ensuring that his story is not overshadowed by the broader narrative of the Zodiac case. Investigators' perspectives. Dave Toschi. Role: San Francisco Police Inspector Dave Toschi was one of the lead investigators on the Zodiac case. Experience. Toschi's dedication to the case made him a public figure and a symbol of the relentless pursuit of justice. His innovative methods and commitment to solving the case were widely recognized. Aftermath. Despite his efforts, Toschi was haunted by the inability to capture the Zodiac. He continued to follow the case throughout his career and after retirement, always seeking new leads. Bill Armstrong. Role: Bill Armstrong was Toschi's partner in the investigation. Experience. Armstrong worked closely with Toschi, meticulously analyzing evidence and following up on leads. His work was crucial in shaping the investigation's direction. Aftermath. The unsolved nature of the case left Armstrong with a sense of unfinished business. Like Toschi, he remained invested in the case long after it was no longer his official responsibility. Sherwood Morrill. Role: Sherwood Morrill was the chief document examiner for the California Department of Justice. Experience. Morrill analyzed the Zodiac's letters and ciphers, contributing to the understanding of the killer's communication style and psychological profile. Aftermath. Morrill's expertise was instrumental in identifying the Zodiac's distinctive handwriting, but the lack of definitive resolution left him, like many others involved, with lingering questions and a desire for closure. Emotional and psychological impact. Trauma and PTSD. Many individuals directly affected by the Zodiac's crimes, including survivors and family members, have struggled with trauma and PTSD. The violent nature of the attacks and the prolonged uncertainty of the case have exacerbated these psychological wounds. Support networks and counseling have been essential for many in coping with their experiences and finding ways to move forward. Public figures and media. Reporters and public figures who became involved in the case also felt its impact. Paul Avery, a journalist with the San Francisco Chronicle, received a personal threat from the Zodiac, adding to the stress and danger associated with covering the story. The intense media scrutiny and the pressure to provide updates on such a high-profile case affected the mental health and professional lives of those involved in the reporting. Community impact. The broader community experienced collective trauma due to the Zodiac's reign of terror. Public fear, changes in behavior, and the community's heightened vigilance reflect the widespread psychological impact of the case. Community events, memorials, and ongoing public engagement have helped maintain awareness and honor the victims, fostering a sense of solidarity and resilience. As technology advances and investigative methods evolve, new possibilities emerge for solving the Zodiac killer case. This chapter explores the potential future directions for the investigation, examining how modern technologies, innovative methodologies, and collaborative efforts might finally bring resolution to this enduring mystery. Advances in forensic technology. Genetic genealogy. Genetic genealogy has revolutionized cold case investigations by allowing detectives to identify suspects through familial DNA matches. Utilizing public DNA databases, investigators can trace lineage and find potential relatives of the Zodiac killer. The success of this technique in solving the Golden State Killer case provides hope that similar methods could be applied to any viable DNA evidence from the Zodiac case, potentially identifying the killer or his relatives. Advanced DNA analysis. Improvements in DNA extraction and analysis techniques, such as next-generation sequencing and touch DNA analysis, can retrieve genetic material from previously unusable samples. Re-examining items like stamps and envelopes from the Zodiac's letters, clothing from crime scenes, or other physical evidence with these advanced methods might yield new DNA profiles. Fingerprint technology. Modern fingerprint analysis techniques, including digital enhancement and ridgeology, offer new ways to analyze latent prints. Enhanced imaging technology can reveal details in prints that were previously undetectable. Utilizing updated databases and comparison algorithms might provide new matches from latent prints collected at crime scenes and from the Zodiac's correspondence. Innovative investigative methods. Artificial intelligence and machine learning. AI and machine learning can process and analyze vast amounts of data quickly, identifying patterns and connections that human investigators might miss. These technologies can be applied to various aspects of the Zodiac case, including cipher analysis, behavioral profiling, and suspect identification. Machine learning algorithms could analyze the Zodiac's letters and ciphers to detect linguistic patterns, stylistic consistencies, and other clues that might help identify the author. Digital forensics. Digital forensics involves the recovery and investigation of material found in digital devices. Although the Zodiac's crimes predate the digital age, modern investigators can use digital tools to re-examine old files, digitize physical evidence, and cross-reference historical data. Analyzing digital archives, online forums, and social media discussions might uncover new leads or connect previously disparate pieces of information. Crowdsourcing and public engagement. Engaging the public through crowdsourcing platforms can harness collective intelligence and diverse expertise. Platforms like Reddit, web sleuths, and specialized Zodiac investigation websites allow amateur sleuths to contribute their skills and insights. Crowdsourced efforts can generate fresh perspectives, new theories, and potential leads that might escape the notice of traditional investigative methods. Collaborative efforts and interdisciplinary approaches. Interagency collaboration. Enhanced collaboration between local, state, and federal law enforcement agencies ensures the sharing of information, resources, and expertise. This integrated approach can overcome the jurisdictional challenges that hindered the initial investigation. Joint task forces combining the efforts of the FBI, local police departments, and forensic experts can bring a multidisciplinary perspective to the case. Partnerships with private sector. Collaborating with private forensic laboratories, tech companies, and academic institutions can provide access to cutting-edge technologies and specialized expertise. Partnerships with companies specializing in genetic genealogy, digital forensics, and AI can enhance the investigative capabilities of law enforcement agencies. International cooperation. Although the Zodiac's crimes were confined to Northern California, international cooperation can provide additional resources and insights. Sharing information with global law enforcement agencies and forensic experts can uncover new methodologies and comparative case studies. International databases and expertise in specific forensic techniques might offer valuable contributions to the investigation. Revisiting and re-examining evidence. Cold case units. Dedicated cold case units re-examine old evidence with fresh eyes, applying new technologies and methodologies to uncover overlooked details. These units often find success by revisiting and reanalyzing evidence collected during the original investigation. Cold case units can systematically review the Zodiac case, ensuring that no stone is left unturned and that all potential leads are pursued. Forensic reevaluation. Modern forensic science can provide new insights from old evidence. Techniques such as enhanced fingerprint analysis, advanced DNA sequencing, and chemical analysis of materials can reveal new information. Items such as the Zodiac's letters, the victim's clothing, and crime scene artifacts can be reevaluated using these advanced forensic methods. Behavioral and psychological profiling. Continual refinement of behavioral and psychological profiling techniques can provide deeper insights into the Zodiac's personality and motivations. Profilers can analyze the killer's communications and crime scenes to develop updated profiles. These profiles can help narrow down suspect lists and guide investigative strategies, focusing efforts on individuals who match the refined profiles. Public and media involvement. Media campaigns. Media campaigns can generate renewed public interest in the Zodiac case, encouraging individuals with potential information to come forward. Documentaries, news segments, and true crime shows can highlight the case and appeal for public assistance. Social media campaigns can reach a wide audience, spreading awareness and engaging a younger generation in the search for new leads. Educational outreach. Educational programs and public lectures about the Zodiac case can inform and engage the community, fostering a sense of collective responsibility in solving the case. Universities and academic institutions can host seminars and workshops, encouraging students and researchers to contribute their skills and knowledge to the investigation. Victim and survivor. Advocacy. Advocacy groups for victims and survivors can play a crucial role in keeping the case alive. These groups can provide support to families and ensure that their voices are heard in the ongoing investigation. Advocacy efforts can also push for legislative changes and the allocation of resources to cold case investigations, ensuring that cases like the Zodiac's receive the attention they deserve. The Zodiac killer case, with its blend of brutal violence, cryptic messages, and media engagement, has left an indelible mark on various aspects of society. This chapter examines the lasting legacy of the Zodiac case, reflecting on its impact on law enforcement, criminal psychology, and popular culture. Impact on law enforcement. Enhanced investigative techniques. The Zodiac case highlighted the necessity for advanced forensic methods and interagency cooperation. Law enforcement agencies have since adopted more sophisticated techniques, integrating technological advancements such as DNA profiling, digital forensics, and geographic profiling. The case demonstrated the importance of maintaining comprehensive and centralized databases to track and share information across jurisdictions, improving the overall efficiency of criminal investigations. Cold case methodologies. The persistent, unsolved nature of the Zodiac case has influenced the development of specialized cold case units. These units focus on re-examining old evidence with new technology and methodologies, applying lessons learned from the challenges of the Zodiac investigation. Cold case methodologies emphasize a meticulous and patient approach, recognizing that breakthroughs can occur years or even decades after the original crimes. Victim-centered approaches. The impact on victims' families and the broader community has underscored the importance of a victim-centered approach in criminal investigations. Law enforcement agencies now place greater emphasis on supporting victims and their families, ensuring they are kept informed and involved in the investigative process. This approach helps to maintain trust and cooperation between law enforcement and the community, which is crucial for solving cases and ensuring justice. Influence on criminal psychology. Advancements in profiling. The Zodiac case contributed significantly to the evolution of criminal profiling. Profilers analyze patterns in the Zodiac's behavior, communications, and crime scenes to develop detailed psychological profiles. These profiles have enhanced the understanding of serial killer behavior, helping investigators identify and apprehend suspects in other cases, by recognizing similar patterns and psychological traits. Behavioral analysis techniques. The case has driven the refinement of behavioral analysis techniques, integrating insights from psychology, criminology, and forensic science. These techniques are used to predict future actions, understand motives, and narrow down suspect lists. Behavioral analysis now plays a critical role in major criminal investigations, providing valuable insights that guide investigative strategies and resource allocation. Understanding of media influence. The Zodiac's use of the media to communicate his threats and boast about his crimes highlighted the complex relationship between criminals and media coverage. This understanding has informed strategies for managing media interactions in ongoing investigations. Law enforcement agencies have developed protocols for engaging with the media, balancing the need for public information with the potential risks of giving criminals the attention they seek. Cultural and societal reflections. Enduring mystery and public fascination. The Zodiac case remains one of the most enduring mysteries in American criminal history. Its unresolved status continues to captivate the public, fueling interest in true crime and cold cases. This fascination is reflected in the numerous books, documentaries, films, and podcasts dedicated to the case, each exploring different aspects and theories and keeping the story alive for new generations. Influence on true crime genre. The Zodiac case has had a profound impact on the true crime genre, setting a precedent for how unsolved cases are presented and explored in media. The blend of factual reporting, psychological analysis, and speculative theories creates a compelling narrative that has been emulated in other true crime stories. True crime content has grown in popularity, with audiences drawn to the intrigue and complexity of cases like the Zodiac's, seeking to understand the darker aspects of human nature and the challenges of criminal investigations. Public awareness and safety. The widespread fear generated by the Zodiac's crimes heightened public awareness of personal safety and the potential dangers posed by unidentified criminals. This awareness has influenced safety practices and community vigilance efforts. Educational campaigns on crime prevention and public safety have drawn on lessons from the Zodiac case, promoting proactive measures to protect individuals and communities from similar threats. Academic and educational impact case studies in education. The Zodiac case is frequently used as a case study in criminology, criminal justice, and psychology courses. It provides a comprehensive example of the complexities involved in investigating serial crimes and the interplay between law enforcement, media, and public perception. Students analyze various aspects of the case, including forensic evidence, profiling techniques, media interaction, and the impact on victims' families, gaining a deeper understanding of investigative processes and criminal behavior. Research and scholarship. The Zodiac's behavior, communications, and the investigation itself are subjects of ongoing research and scholarship. Academics explore the case to develop new theories of criminal behavior, refine profiling methods, and understand the societal impact of high-profile crimes. Insights gained from the Zodiac case inform the development of new investigative strategies and enhance the field of criminal psychology. Legacy and future perspectives. Continued investigation. Despite the passage of time, the Zodiac case remains an active area of investigation. Advances in forensic technology and new methodologies offer hope for future breakthroughs. Law enforcement agencies, cold case units, and independent researchers continue to revisit the evidence, applying the latest techniques in the pursuit of resolution and justice for the victims. Inspiration for future generations. The enduring mystery of the Zodiac killer serves as both a cautionary tale and a source of inspiration for future generations of investigators, criminologists, and forensic scientists. The case exemplifies the importance of perseverance, innovation, and collaboration in solving complex criminal cases, encouraging new approaches and continued dedication to uncovering the truth. As the Zodiac killer case remains one of the most infamous unsolved mysteries, various avenues continue to be explored to bring about its resolution. This chapter delves into the ongoing efforts to solve the case, potential breakthroughs, and the scenarios that could finally provide closure. Modern forensic re-examinations, DNA analysis, and genetic genealogy. Advances in DNA technology offer significant potential for solving the Zodiac case. Investigators are re-examining evidence, such as stamps and envelopes from the Zodiac's letters, for trace amounts of DNA. Genetic genealogy has successfully resolved other cold cases by identifying suspects through familial connections. This technique could be applied to any viable DNA evidence from the Zodiac case, potentially identifying the killer or his relatives. Fingerprint re-evaluation. Modern fingerprint analysis techniques, including digital enhancements and new algorithms, are being used to re-examine latent prints collected from crime scenes and letters. These advanced methods may uncover matches previously undetected, providing new leads or confirming suspect identities. Advances in cryptography. Ongoing cipher analysis. Cryptographers continue to work on the Zodiac's unsolved ciphers, using both traditional methods and modern computational techniques to decode them. The recent success in solving the 340-character cipher after decades of effort demonstrates that persistent analysis can yield results. Future breakthroughs could reveal crucial information about the Zodiac's identity or motives. Collaboration with technology experts. Partnerships with cryptography experts and computer scientists allow for the application of sophisticated algorithms and AI to analyze the remaining ciphers. These collaborations can enhance the likelihood of decoding the messages and uncovering new insights into the Zodiac's communications. Interdisciplinary and collaborative approaches. Cold case units and task forces. Specialized cold case units continue to dedicate resources to the Zodiac investigation. These teams re-examine old evidence, follow up on leads, and apply the latest forensic and investigative techniques. Collaborative task forces involving local, state, and federal agencies ensure a comprehensive approach, pooling resources and expertise to tackle the case from multiple angles. Academic and private sector partnerships. Collaborations with academic institutions and private sector companies provide access to cutting-edge technology and specialized knowledge. Forensic labs, universities, and tech companies contribute their expertise in areas such as genetic genealogy, digital forensics, and behavioral analysis, enhancing the overall investigative effort. Public engagement and crowdsourcing. Involvement of amateur sleuths. Online communities and crowdsourcing platforms engage amateur sleuths in the investigation. These enthusiasts analyze evidence, propose theories, and contribute new perspectives. The collective efforts of these communities can generate fresh leads and bring attention to overlooked details, complementing the work of official investigators. Media and public campaigns. Media coverage and public campaigns keep the Zodiac case in the spotlight, encouraging individuals with potential information to come forward. Documentaries, news segments, and true crime podcasts appeal for public assistance and provide updates on the investigation, maintaining public interest and involvement. Legal and judicial considerations. Statute of limitations and legal hurdles. While the statute of limitations does not apply to murder cases, legal hurdles such as the admissibility of new evidence and the reliability of witness testimonies must be navigated. Ensuring that any new evidence meets legal standards is crucial for potential prosecutions, should a viable suspect be identified. Potential prosecutions. If a suspect is identified through modern forensic techniques or new evidence, legal proceedings would follow. The prosecution would need to build a robust case, relying on both historical and newly discovered evidence. The challenge lies in the passage of time, which can affect the availability and reliability of witnesses and physical evidence. Psychological and behavioral profiling. Refined psychological profiles. Profilers continue to refine their understanding of the Zodiac's psychological makeup, incorporating new data and insights from ongoing research. Updated profiles can guide investigators in identifying and narrowing down potential suspects, focusing on those who match the refined criteria. Behavioral pattern analysis. Analyzing the Zodiac's behavior, communications, and crime scenes provides valuable insights into his patterns and motivations. Behavioral analysis helps investigators anticipate potential future actions and understand the underlying psychological drivers, aiding in the identification of the killer. Potential breakthroughs and final resolutions. Uncovered evidence. New evidence could emerge from re-examining old files, analyzing overlooked items, or through tips from the public. This evidence might provide the breakthrough needed to solve the case. Technological advancements in forensic science continually improve the chances of uncovering critical evidence that was previously undetectable. Confession or witness testimony. A confession from the Zodiac or new testimony from a witness could provide conclusive information about the killer's identity and actions. Individuals connected to the Zodiac might come forward with information, especially as time passes and circumstances change. Legacy and continued pursuit inspiration for future investigations. The ongoing efforts to solve the Zodiac case serve as an inspiration for future investigators, emphasizing the importance of persistence, innovation, and collaboration. Lessons learned from the Zodiac investigation are applied to other cold cases, improving methodologies and increasing the likelihood of resolution. Commitment to justice. The relentless pursuit of the Zodiac killer exemplifies the commitment of law enforcement and the community to seek justice for the victims and their families. This dedication ensures that the case remains active, with continued efforts to bring closure and accountability. The Zodiac killer case has far-reaching implications for the fields of criminal justice and society at large. This chapter reflects on how this enduring mystery has shaped perceptions, influenced policies, and impacted societal views on crime and justice. Influence on criminal justice policies. Improvements in interagency collaboration. The complexities and challenges faced during the Zodiac investigation highlighted the need for better communication and coordination among various law enforcement agencies. In response, protocols for interagency collaboration have been strengthened, ensuring more efficient and cohesive efforts in solving crimes. Establishing centralized databases and shared platforms has become standard practice, facilitating the exchange of information and resources across jurisdictions. Advancements in forensic science. The ongoing Zodiac investigation has underscored the importance of continuous advancements in forensic science. Innovations in DNA analysis, fingerprint technology, and digital forensics have revolutionized the field, providing new tools to solve cold cases. These technological advancements have become integral to modern investigative procedures, ensuring that law enforcement agencies are equipped with the latest methods to tackle complex cases. Enhanced training and education. The lessons learned from the Zodiac case have influenced the training and education of law enforcement personnel. Emphasis on forensic techniques, behavioral analysis, and interagency cooperation are now key components of police training programs. Academic institutions have incorporated case studies like the Zodiac into their curricula, providing students with practical examples of investigative challenges and strategies. Societal impact and public perception awareness and prevention. The Zodiac case has heightened public awareness about personal safety and crime prevention. Educational campaigns and community programs emphasize the importance of vigilance, self-defense, and reporting suspicious activities. This increased awareness has led to a more proactive approach to public safety, with communities taking measures to protect themselves and support law enforcement efforts. Media's role in shaping perceptions. Extensive media coverage of the Zodiac case has played a significant role in shaping public perceptions of crime and justice. The sensational nature of the case and the mysterious identity of the killer have captivated audiences, influencing the portrayal of serial killers in popular culture. This media influence extends to how other criminal cases are reported and perceived, often highlighting the interplay between crime, media, and public fear. Impact on victim advocacy. The case has also brought attention to the needs and rights of victims and their families. Advocacy groups have emerged to support those affected by violent crimes, providing resources and a platform for their voices. Efforts to ensure that victims are not forgotten and that their stories are told with dignity and respect have become an important aspect of criminal justice reform. Evolution of criminal psychology. Understanding serial killers. The Zodiac case has contributed to a deeper understanding of serial killers, influencing the study of criminal psychology and behavior. Profilers and psychologists use the case to analyze motivations, behavioral patterns, and psychological traits common among serial offenders. Insights gained from studying the Zodiac have informed the development of more accurate profiles and predictive models, aiding in the identification and apprehension of serial killers. Behavioral analysis as a tool. Behavioral analysis has become a critical tool in criminal investigations, thanks in part to high-profile cases like the Zodiac. Profiling techniques have been refined and integrated into standard investigative practices, helping to narrow down suspect lists and understand criminal behavior. This approach has proven effective in solving other complex cases, demonstrating the value of combining psychological insights with forensic evidence. Long-term effects on law enforcement strategies. Cold case investigations. The persistence of the Zodiac case has underscored the importance of dedicated cold case units. These units specialize in re-examining old evidence with new technology, maintaining hope that even the most challenging cases can be solved. Cold case strategies emphasize thoroughness, patience, and the continual application of new forensic methods, ensuring that cases remain active and under investigation. Resource allocation and prioritization. The extensive resources dedicated to the Zodiac investigation have highlighted the need for effective resource allocation and prioritization in law enforcement. Agencies must balance the demands of ongoing investigations with the need to revisit and resolve cold cases. Strategic planning and resource management have become essential components of law enforcement operations, ensuring that high-priority cases receive the attention they require. Broader cultural reflections. True crime phenomenon. The Zodiac case has contributed to the rise of the true crime phenomenon, with audiences drawn to the intrigue and complexity of real-life mysteries. True crime media, including books, documentaries, and podcasts, has become a popular genre, engaging the public in the pursuit of justice. This cultural interest in true crime has led to greater public engagement with criminal cases, fostering a community of amateur sleuths and encouraging the sharing of information and theories. Ethical considerations in media coverage. The case has prompted discussions about the ethical considerations involved in media coverage of criminal investigations. Balancing the public's right to know with the privacy and dignity of victims and their families is a delicate issue that continues to evolve. Responsible reporting and respectful portrayal of victims are now emphasized in journalistic standards, ensuring that media coverage does not exploit or sensationalize tragic events. Legacy of the Zodiac case, ongoing quest for justice. The unresolved status of the Zodiac case serves as a reminder of the importance of perseverance in the quest for justice. Law enforcement agencies, researchers, and the public continue to seek answers, driven by the hope of eventually uncovering the truth. This enduring commitment exemplifies the dedication to solving even the most challenging cases, providing inspiration for future generations of investigators. Symbol of unsolved mysteries. The Zodiac killer has become a symbol of unsolved mysteries, representing the unknown and the ongoing battle between good and evil. The case encapsulates the challenges faced in understanding and apprehending elusive criminals, highlighting the complexities of human behavior. This symbol serves as a catalyst for continued exploration and investigation, encouraging advancements in forensic science, criminal psychology, and investigative techniques. As the Zodiac killer case continues to intrigue and mystify, the quest for closure and understanding remains as pressing as ever. This chapter explores the motivations behind the enduring pursuit of resolution, the broader search for justice, and the psychological and societal need to solve one of history's most infamous mysteries. The drive for resolution. Justice for victims and families. The primary motivation for solving the Zodiac case is justice for the victims and their families. The unresolved nature of the case leaves a painful void for those who lost loved ones, and closure remains a deeply personal and emotional necessity. Bringing the killer to justice, even posthumously, would honor the memory of the victims and provide a sense of peace and resolution for their families. Validation of investigative efforts. Decades of investigative work by law enforcement agencies, private investigators, and amateur sleuths underscore the relentless pursuit of the Zodiac. Solving the case would validate the immense effort, dedication, and resources invested over the years. Success in this endeavor would demonstrate the effectiveness of modern forensic science, profiling techniques, and collaborative investigative strategies, reinforcing their value in future cases. The broader search for justice impact on cold case investigations. The resolution of the Zodiac case would serve as a landmark achievement in the field of cold case investigations, providing a powerful example of perseverance and technological advancement overcoming the obstacles of time. This outcome would inspire renewed efforts and methodologies in addressing other unsolved cases, potentially leading to breakthroughs in similarly challenging investigations. Setting precedents. Successfully closing the Zodiac case would set important precedents for the integration of emerging technologies, such as genetic genealogy and AI-driven analysis, in criminal investigations. These precedents would guide future approaches, ensuring that investigators leverage the best available tools and techniques to solve complex cases. Psychological and societal need. Understanding the nature of evil. Solving the Zodiac case would provide critical insights into the psychological makeup and motivations of one of history's most enigmatic serial killers. Understanding what drove the Zodiac could aid in preventing future crimes by identifying similar behavioral patterns early. This understanding would also contribute to the broader field of criminal psychology, offering valuable case studies for academics, law enforcement, and mental health professionals. Restoring public confidence. An unresolved high-profile case like the Zodiac undermines public confidence in the criminal justice system. Solving the case would restore faith in law enforcement's ability to bring even the most elusive criminals to justice. Public confidence is crucial for maintaining cooperation and trust between communities and law enforcement, which is essential for effective crime prevention and investigation. Legacy and lessons learned. Advancements in forensic science. The ongoing pursuit of the Zodiac has driven significant advancements in forensic science, from DNA analysis to digital forensics. These advancements have broader applications, improving the overall capability of law enforcement to solve crimes. The lessons learned from the Zodiac case have already influenced numerous other investigations, demonstrating the value of persistence and innovation. The role of media and public engagement. The media's role in the Zodiac investigation has evolved from sensational reporting to a more nuanced engagement, balancing public interest with ethical considerations. This evolution highlights the importance of responsible journalism in criminal cases. Public engagement, facilitated by modern technology, has shown the power of collective intelligence and the potential for community-driven efforts to complement official investigations. Future directions. Continued use of emerging technologies. The application of emerging technologies will remain crucial in the ongoing investigation. Innovations in AI, genetic genealogy, and forensic techniques will continue to offer new avenues for breakthroughs. Keeping the case active in the public and academic discourse ensures that it benefits from the latest advancements and methodologies. Educational and academic contributions. The Zodiac case will continue to serve as an important educational tool, providing practical examples and case studies for students and researchers in criminology, psychology, and forensic science. Academic contributions can drive new theories and approaches, ensuring that the investigation remains dynamic and informed by the latest research. International perspectives. Collaborating with international experts can provide fresh perspectives and comparative insights, enhancing the investigative effort. Sharing knowledge and techniques globally ensures that the Zodiac case benefits from a wide range of expertise. International cooperation can also highlight the global nature of criminal behavior, fostering a more comprehensive understanding and approach to serial crimes. As we reach the conclusion of this exploration into the Zodiac killer case, it becomes clear that this enduring mystery encapsulates a unique blend of fear, fascination, and relentless pursuit. This chapter summarizes the key themes discussed throughout the book, offering a final perspective on the Zodiac killer and the ongoing quest for answers. The Unsolved Case, A Tale of Terror. The Zodiac killer's reign of terror in the late 1960s and early 1970s left a lasting scar on Northern California. His brutal murders, cryptic communications, and taunting letters created a climate of fear and uncertainty that persisted for decades. Despite extensive efforts by law enforcement and amateur sleuths, the Zodiac's identity remains unknown, maintaining the case's status as one of the most infamous unsolved mysteries in American history. Cryptic communications. The Zodiac's use of ciphers and coded messages added an extra layer of complexity to the case. His letters, filled with threats, boasts, and puzzles, have captivated cryptographers and investigators alike. While some ciphers have been solved, others remain a mystery, continuing to intrigue and challenge those who seek to unlock their secrets. The impact on law enforcement evolution of investigative techniques. The Zodiac case has driven significant advancements in forensic science and investigative techniques. From DNA analysis and genetic genealogy to digital forensics and AI, the case has continually pushed the boundaries of what is possible in criminal investigations. The lessons learned from the Zodiac investigation have influenced how law enforcement approaches cold cases, emphasizing the importance of persistence, innovation, and interagency cooperation. Cold case methodologies. Specialized cold case units and task forces have emerged as critical components of modern law enforcement, dedicated to revisiting and resolving long unsolved crimes. The Zodiac case has been a guiding force in shaping these units' strategies and methodologies. The emphasis on thorough re-examination of evidence, the application of new technologies, and the integration of behavioral analysis are direct outcomes of the challenges faced in the Zodiac investigation. The role of media and public engagement. Media influence. The Zodiac case has highlighted the powerful role of the media in shaping public perception and influencing the course of criminal investigations. Responsible journalism and ethical considerations have evolved, ensuring that the coverage balances public interest with respect for victims and their families. Media coverage has also played a crucial role in maintaining public interest in the case, encouraging community involvement and the sharing of information. Crowdsourcing and collective intelligence. The rise of online communities and crowdsourcing platforms has demonstrated the potential of collective intelligence in solving complex cases. Amateur sleuths and true crime enthusiasts have contributed valuable insights, theories, and leads to the Zodiac investigation. This public engagement highlights the democratization of investigative efforts, where diverse expertise and perspectives can complement official law enforcement activities. Societal and psychological insights. Understanding serial killers. The Zodiac case has provided critical insights into the psychology of serial killers, influencing the development of criminal profiling and behavioral analysis techniques. Understanding the motivations, patterns, and psychological traits of offenders has become a key component of criminal investigations. These insights have broader implications for preventing and addressing serial crimes, contributing to the field of criminal psychology and forensic science. Impact on public safety. The widespread fear generated by the Zodiac's crimes has led to increased public awareness of personal safety and crime prevention. Community programs, educational campaigns, and proactive measures have become standard practices in promoting public safety. The case underscores the importance of community vigilance and cooperation with law enforcement to protect individuals and prevent future crimes. The enduring quest for answers, persistence, and innovation. The ongoing efforts to solve the Zodiac case exemplify the importance of persistence and innovation in criminal investigations. Advances in technology and forensic science continue to offer new possibilities for breakthroughs. The dedication of law enforcement, researchers, and the public ensures that the quest for answers remains active, driven by a commitment to justice and resolution. Hope for resolution. While the Zodiac killer remains unidentified, there is hope that future advancements and continued efforts will eventually uncover the truth. The possibility of new evidence, technological breakthroughs, or a crucial tip keeps the investigation alive. The resolution of the Zodiac case would provide closure for the victims' families, validate the efforts of countless investigators, and serve as a testament to the enduring pursuit of justice. Final reflections. Legacy of the Zodiac case. The Zodiac killer case leaves a complex legacy, marked by fear, fascination, and the relentless pursuit of truth. It has shaped the fields of forensic science, criminal psychology, and investigative journalism, influencing how society understands and addresses serial crimes. The enduring mystery serves as a powerful reminder of the complexities of human behavior and the challenges of uncovering the truth in the face of seemingly insurmountable obstacles. The future of investigative efforts. As technology and methodologies continue to evolve, the Zodiac case will remain a focal point for innovation and collaboration in criminal investigations. The pursuit of answers will persist, driven by the hope of achieving justice and understanding. The legacy of the Zodiac case will continue to inspire future generations of investigators, researchers, and the public, ensuring that the quest for closure and resolution remains a central aspect of the ongoing battle against crime and injustice. In this final chapter, we have reflected on the enduring mystery of the Zodiac killer, the impact on law enforcement and society, and the ongoing quest for answers. The journey to uncover the truth continues, fueled by the dedication, persistence, and hope of those committed to solving one of history's most perplexing cases.